Okay, so sorry we did get disconnected. We're going to continue on with our food web activity. So I know you guys were showing me that you had your producers that were tied up to your to the top here already, so that's great. So now that you have your producers that are tied up to the top, now you're going to start working your consumers, but you're going to work on one food chain at a time, and then you can link those food chains together. Let me pull up I'm going to do share screen, and I'm going to pull up the food web again. That way you guys can see how you're connecting everything together. So now that you have your grasses connected, so now you can do 3 holes in the grains, and you can start connecting your birds, your grasshoppers, and your mice. You can connect those 3 to the grains. And then you can connect, the grasshoppers are going to connect to both the grains and the rabbits. So the grasshoppers, you're going to actually have to put, a couple holes in them so they can connect to the grasses and the grains. And then they're going to have another hole on the other side so they can connect to the owls. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and work on that. So if you already have your stuff cut out, that's great. If not, you can go ahead and take a minute and cut it out. And I know, Wendy, I know you said that you didn't do the paper on the back of the producers, but that's fine. You can do it on the consumers as you go along. And just pop in and let me know if you have any questions and anything. You don't really realize how complex the food web is until you start cutting out all the pieces and trying to tie them all together.
Yeah, it's hard.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes, ma'am.
can I see how you connected your consumers to the grasses?
Yes. I'm getting all tangled up now. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay. So on the grasses, okay. So I have a hole in the bottom of my consumer. So the hole in the top is connecting it to the sun. The hole in the bottom is connecting it to the consumer. Okay, so there's a hole, make a hole on the bottom of your producers. You make a hole on the bottom, and then that hole on the bottom is going to connect it to the various, and you might have to have more than one hole too, because you're going to have different consumers that connect to the producers, you see?
Okay.
So, like I was saying, if there's like, for example, for carrots, it's pretty easy because carrots only have the bunnies to connect to. So maybe that would be a good easy place to start, is start with the carrots and just connect the carrots to the rabbits. And then you can kind of go from there. And then you can connect the foxes to the rabbits. And so that's one connection right there. But I think that's the way I had started. I think I had started it with the carrots connecting to the rabbits. And then you're going to do another string that connects your rabbits to your foxes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sanchez.
I'm trying to fix mine up over here too because mine got a little tangled. And just do the best you can, as long as you're able to connect it and explain how the energy flows. That's what's the important part. It doesn't have to look perfect, so you don't have to worry about making it too pretty. Just make sure that you are connecting it and that you're able to describe the energy. Okay, we're gonna spend maybe about 3 or 4 more minutes still working on this, and if you don't get done, that's fine. At least try to get 1 or 2 food chains done. That way you can explain to the group how the energy is flowing in their food. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys about 1 more minute. I know that this is time consuming, but go ahead and try to do the best you can to at least get 1 food or 2 food webs on there. And we're gonna look and see what you got here just a little bit, okay? But I'll give you about 1 more minute to finish up. And then just, that way you can explain how energy is being transferred from one thing to another, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and stop for now. Why don't you go ahead and show me what you've got so far?
Sam, you go first.
just show me like 1 or 2 transfers of energy. Just so you understand.
No, mine sucked.
That's really good, Sam. I like it. Okay, so tell me how the energy transfers in your food web.
Okay, so the energy starts from up here, which is our sun. And then the sun gives the plants, our producers, our energy, or its energy, so they can make food. And then the energy is being transferred down to different animals like the grasshopper or insects, the rabbit. No, wait, this is the rabbit.
Yeah.
And this one's the mice.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's excellent.
Awesome.
Okay, Wendy, what you got?
Mine was too long to begin with, so don't cut it too long. But here are my carrots. See my carrots?
Okay.
It goes down to the little bunny rabbit.
Okay.
And the fox.
Okay, perfect. So you were able to explain how the energy was transferring through your food web. That's awesome. That was the whole point of the activity. So like I said, it didn't have to look perfect. It's totally fine. So now that you guys have a really good understanding of how energy flows in the food web, we're going to do our post-assessment, and we're going to do it on Kahoot. So give me just a second to pull up my presentation again. Hold on. Actually, let's finish our KWL chart first, and then we'll do the Kahoot as our last thing. Okay, so I'm gonna, in the chat box, I'll put in the link to the KWL chart again. So there's the link to the Padlet for the KWL chart. Just type in 1 or 2 things that you learned. Just make it one thing for now. I know that you guys learned a lot today. And let me go ahead and share my screen so we can see that. Okay. And so we learned that consumers, I think you're still working on it. I'll give you a minute to finish it. Learned that plants are producers and they make food for everybody in the food web. That's absolutely right. And the producers get their energy from the sun. Awesome. Those are both absolutely true. Okay. Let me, I'm going to close that out. I'm going to go back to, actually, you know what? I'm just going to do the link for Kahoot. I'm going to do that in the chat box as well. Copy. Paste. There we go. So that's the link for Kahoot. And oh, actually, that's my link for Kahoot. Let me give you the. Let me just get you the code. There. All right, I'm sorry about that. Let me share my screen so you can see that. Okay, so go to Kahoot, and then you're gonna put in this PIN number. And there's just 3 questions. But now that you guys know how to do food webs, they should be really easy. Okay. All right, now how do I start it from here? Oh, screen covering it. So which organisms transfer the most energy in the food web? I'm hoping that you can see that picture. Oh, you guys both got it right. That's awesome. Okay, which type of organism is missing from this food web? So you're both right. Yes, it's decomposers. Wow. I feel so proud you guys learned something from me. Okay, last question. Okay, so this is asking how many types of organisms in the food web obtain energy directly from the producers? You might want to do some counting. That's right. You guys both got all the questions right. That's awesome. Hey, good job, Sam. But you guys both got them all right, so I'm proud of both of you guys. Okay, leave that. Okay, well, you guys are awesome today. So thank you guys for joining my class. And let's do, as teachers, we can do a debriefing real quick on what you guys think worked in the lesson, what didn't work, and any suggestions you guys have.
We're still recording.
Yeah, we're still recording. I'm going to include this on the recording.
I think you did great. You're very interactive and your lesson was very informative. I tried to role play as a 5th grader, but overall it was great. The little hanger thing confused the heck out of me. I think I didn't put it on the yellow paper. I like spaced, so it was too little and my little holes kept a mess. And I think I used the wrong thing. Burlap. No. But that was the only thing. But that was on me. That wasn't on you.
All right. No, that's fine. I'll just have to be more specific with the directions.
Like, girl, you said yarn. I did burlap. You're fine. I think you did really good.
Thank you. What do you think, Sam?
I definitely agree with Wendy. You were very interactive. You were very hands-on. I loved the TPR motion. I thought that was very creative. And I would say my favorite part was the actual activity. Because I mean, even though like it got a little confusing just because I wasn't like following it directly, I could see how like the food web was like intertwined like with let's say like the owl, like you can just make holes and it still connects and it's still the same as like the diagram on the PowerPoint that you showed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I really liked it.
All right, cool. Thanks. And we're gonna go ahead and stop